Chapter 23 The Song of the Divine Mother. That vision of the earth monsters brought a nightmare to life, and what were any of us to do? Who among us could overtake such vile evil? Oh, how on earth would our world come to know the truth? The type of beasts that controlled life on earth were the very worst of the wicked, absolute egomaniacs, and every moment they remained in power, they spread their vile sickness. Ignorance overtook the masses, while lies spread as the monsters treated the people like cattle. And if you tried to rise up against such pedophiles, you'd risk being killed or destroyed by such cannibals. Even with a partial release of the Epstein files, it only proved that men in power can devour the lives of our youth without consequences. And what could anyone even do? If you dared to stand up against these wicked beasts, the quicker they'd come after you. But if we did nothing, the earth monster's madness would only continue. How have we gotten here? And who brought these monsters into power? Little by little, they manipulated the most influential people and common folk until their disgraceful lies were too great, and now everyone knew they were lying to the entire world. Their corruption and greed was evident, and their horrible past was so terrible that it surpassed what anyone could imagine. Their crimes were cruel, and our government refused to accept the truth because it meant our system would collapse from their madness. But why? Oh, how could it happen like this? And now the government applauded these pedophiles because they feared what would happen if the system were to disintegrate. Yet the system was run by monsters who thought of the population as cattle. Oh, they were like addicts, and they were upset that we were not like them. Of course we weren't like them. We weren't pedophile villains. Oh God, how can you allow this to be? Why has this happened? So much chaos fills our world, and how is Earth becoming a wasteland? After the vision from the Council of Spirits, my poor soul had fallen into despair and misery. What hope was there for inner peace when the very freedom from which our country was founded upon had been captured as we'd been forced into worldwide hostility? As the 24 spirits roamed the marsh, my heart was lost without my lover. The mermaid was away, while I could not process the overwhelming fate of our world. Somewhere, my family, cousins, and friends were deluded by the deceptive path of the earth monsters, and had they cared to read the pedophile files? Why, the earth monsters seemed to have hijacked the teachings of our religious traditions, as if these monsters held the rightful rulership over the deeper mysteries. Yet hidden beneath the surface were the remains of young teenagers and children, as they attempted to remove the transcripts which revealed how the sulfuric acid burned the remains on the pedophile island to cover up the bodies. "Take the rosary," said one of the 20-some spirits as he handed me a small wooden box. "Remember, you acquired this on your travels to India. These beads come from the same lineage of trees that was worn by Saint Teresa of Calcutta." With the box and beads in my pocket, the mind wobbled as I walked in the mud, as my path could not even follow the North Star, as this heavy cloud dimmed God's starlight. The body was weary, my spirit so exhausted, and now my sense of direction wavered, as the soul was unaware of when I had last eaten. Oh, the world continued to spin under the power of the earth monsters and villains. The wind grew worse and howled across the land, but who cared to listen or pause from the vile acts of the human man? The night grew wet and cold when this walk to nowhere went on without a cause. Oh, where were we going? What was this search? May God have mercy upon us." Then a moment later, my body stumbled into the basement cellar of an old Catholic church. Beneath the cathedral, there wasn't another person here, but there in the corner, I saw 2 red roses beside a statue of a woman with 1 candle radiating fire. It was her, preserved in the statue of the Holy and Divine Mother. "Oh, Mother!" I ran to her feet. If anyone could help, maybe, just maybe, the Divine Mother could save our poor world. Then a moment later, I felt her presence as I gazed up to her hands, which were in prayer at her heart center. And again my eyes focused upon the candle light which illuminated the 2 red roses beside her. Do not give in to doom. No tree cries when its neighbor has fallen. We remain rooted just where God has planted us to greet the light of our universe for our world's grand rising, said her voice. A grand rising? But Mother, have you felt what is happening? Humanity is dominated by earth monsters, and the truth is so appalling that I do not know whether it's better to accept their ignorance or to avoid the truth that remains hidden. These monsters are predators, and they prey upon the weak and the ignorant. They've dominated the land with corruption, and they've misled the masses who once lived for the purity within all religious teachings. O Mother of Jesus, Mother of the saints and prophets, what on earth is happening? Listen, can you hear what is collapsing? She said. It was quiet under the Catholic Church, as the space within the stone walls was ever silent. Even the wind outside was held in place under this church, as if nature also paused to listen. O Mother of God, I know you are protected under this church, but out in the world, the leaders have become earth monsters and have committed terrible acts. It's only a matter of time until they turn the masses against the purity of all scriptures. Their lies tell the people only what they wish to hear, and their lust for power overwhelms the purity of God's teachings. What will happen when the people turn their backs on God and begin to worship these villains? The mother's stone body remained still, but I felt her hand reach for my pocket. Why, this was my hand, and then a moment later, I found the small wooden rosary box, and as I opened it, so came forth the Mother's Spirit, with the rosary beads in hand. This rosary had come from the Mother's house that once housed the living body of Saint Teresa of Calcutta. Now the wooden beads came to breathe before the Mother's statue when the occurrence created a chain reaction as it summoned forth the Divine Mother's Spirit. The Mother stepped forth from the stone statue as she picked up the 2 roses in her hand, and within pure silence, she led me out behind the church to the central courtyard where among the darkness of the night she glowed like an eternal lampstand. It is her, the Mother of God, the divine hope of our land. With the rosary in hand, these beads had been crafted from the great cycles of nature, which started as a seed, and so the Mother led me to the center of the courtyard as I knelt before her and an old tree. Notice how in times of both peace and distress, the trees of the world are neither pleased nor upset. Rather, these trees, who are rooted in the earth, are unfazed by whatever happens. They do not prefer any outcome or opinion, or hold firm to an opinion, but rather they grow and reach for the highest. So how high will a tree grow? As tall as it can. Even if such monsters overtook the earth, notice how these trees lay no claim to the land. They simply remain with whatever happens until the day comes when they can no longer stand. Then upon that fateful day, each tree accepts when it must fall, and so they are transformed a tree gives itself back to nature and offers its body to the pure earth. And if we stay and watch a tree's slow demise, we would notice how the other trees do not weep or cry, and we should wonder what the tree feels upon the moment it's called to die. Oh, these trees are most wise. They know that death is not the end. Just look at the rosary in your hand. What was once a strong tree has become a priceless gift as the Divine Mother's rosary. And so this tree has been reborn to guide us on the path of faithful devotion. This tree who has fallen is not dead, but can you see how the spirit of the Mother lives on? Such a string of beads once lived a great life as a tree, yet only after its death did it lead you to discover my presence and eternity. The natural world lives in harmony with the flow of life because nature knows the truth, and when it comes to our soul, there is no beginning and no ending, said the Mother. The trees in the church's courtyard towered over, and maybe the humans were not as wise as them. Somehow, I had acquired this rosary from a distant land, but in this dark night, the overwhelming reality of human life upon the earth gripped my mind, even as I saw the Mother's glowing roses in her hand. But Mother, what about God's kingdom on earth? Is all hope lost? Has the kingdom of God fallen? The way of the old world is collapsing, and like nature, our world is shifting. Why does your mind toss and turn when the soul knows this is our great awakening? Gaze upon the natural world. Can you see how everything is perfect within God's creation? Be like the wise trees and remain rooted while God reveals all that is unfolding, said the Mother Spirit. Was I awake or was I dreaming? I blinked my eyes while my mind wouldn't stop as I searched for the answer to all that was hidden. How could I find peace in such an existential crisis? And did it matter if I spoke it out loud or thought it? Either way, the Divine Mother and her roses knew exactly what I was thinking. But how are we supposed to remain still and trust the flow of life when dealing with monsters upon the earth? These monsters are known pedophiles who rape and kill. These monsters have committed atrocious crimes, and right as the world catches on to their crimes, they buy tons of sulfuric acid to corrode the bones of their victims so no one asks any questions. Meanwhile, these leaders are masters of deception and deflection. They manipulate our broken systems and lead our most pious people deeper into ignorance. Not only this, but they hijack the very sacredness within our world religions. They've tricked modern-day Christians into voting for such monsters, and they've even persuaded my family and cousins. So what am I to do about this? You want me to be still as the world corrupts them? Do we simply allow the earth monsters to ruin the planet until it's so polluted that our home is no longer a place for the living? And if that's not enough, these leaders create boards of peace while they plan wars against other nations, all in an effort to hide their atrocious crimes that they've committed. My body collapsed to the ground while my eyes couldn't control tears falling down. Then the Mother reached lower and took hold of me, and so the Divine Mother spoke. Within my hands rests our world's redemption. Your disappointment in these leaders reflects all of our sorrow, sacrifice, and hope held within one sacred moment. This is not the time to give up or quit. Soon you will understand just how perfectly God's plan will come to fruition. The old world is collapsing so that we usher in Earth's rightful kingdom. Don't you see the men and women you call villains will fall and die, just like the old trees, while the youthful and pious among us will live to see the grand rising? Oh, I know what's coming. A home on earth where people of all faiths, religions, and nations can gather in harmony together. Fear nothing, my son. Every trial is an opportunity for the unfolding of God's ultimate promise, said the Divine Mother. At once her roses began to glow, and there the presence of the sacred promise was revealed. The light was like a beacon of righteous power, as every tree, bush, flower, and blade of grass leaned closer as she whispered within our ears, "What is it, Mother?" It is I who reach all the way back to the original Mother, and I have given birth to every plant, child, and creature. I am the Mother of God, who has given birth to our Father, mothers, and worlds. Today I invite your soul to come all the way in, from your knees to your nose, your toes to your soul. I lead every creature to fully embody the purpose of life. It is time to drop the defensive walls, to let your soul lead so that our divine purpose occupies each and every cell within the body. Anchor all the parts of you into the here and now. Life is here with us, even when death comes near. Know that birth isn't possible without facing our fears. That's why you came here. You who hear me now have chosen your birth to usher in the new earth. Don't you remember? I called you for a purpose, and I ask that you fully commit to this life. Stand tall upon your own 2 feet, my child. Now is the time when the kingdom of God comes to life, said the Divine Mother. But Mother, who I am is but a simple man. What are we to do among a world of such corruption and greed? The earth monsters dominate this earth, and I fear what becomes of the people who are most in need. You speak of a calling and a purpose, yet you instruct me to remain rooted like a tree. What am I to do when I do not know why I am called, or what I am supposed to believe? In every sacred story, God delivers the pure in heart. It is the Spirit of creation who calls the worthy to lead. Fear nothing, my child. You will be given everything you need. This is a time of great change, and I am the bridge between heaven and earth. As the Divine Mother, I am the embodied mystic force, and so I do not instruct you to denounce the earth. Rather, as the Divine Mother, I weave spirit into worlds. Little by little, I bring the souls of my children into this world, and so we are weaving sacredness back into everyday life. Commit to living this life as a soul having a human experience, as I invite each soul to participate in our divine right. The rose invites us to embrace all stages of life upon the earth, from the buds to the bloom, from the falling petals to the fruit. The rose's beauty and sweet scent are an embodiment of heaven, a nectarous reward for being here. And so I ask, how can you commit even deeper to be in service of devotion? Said the Mother. I wish to know my purpose and duty, but how am I meant to be of service in our world? Do I live a life of purity and righteousness, or do I answer the call and face the earth monsters where I become a warrior? Should I listen to my heart and marry my lover where we create a child? Is that why I am here, to become a father? And if we usher in a soul from God and bring it into the world, then what do I do for work? When monsters rule this world, how can I compete in a system bound by greed, addiction, and gluttony? Oh, Mother, how can a decent person earn a living when there are so many atrocities? And how do I know when I have found my purpose? How can I support my own family while also supporting the lives of all others? How is there any hope to feel fulfilled for myself on top of all of this? Oh, Mother, how can I give love to this world if others don't give love to me? How can we deal with abandonment when there are the selfish among us who cheat, lie, steal, and speak ill of our families? How do we deal with those who mock us? How must we deal with those who spread gossip and lies? How can we live in this world and devote ourselves to God when the news channels perpetuate such states of lies, fear, and anxiety? How do I know who is honest? Oh, how do I deal with this unkind world when I'm such a sensitive soul? And Mother, someday I know that I too will die in this world. So how can I make a positive impact and live with a pure duty, calling, and purpose? Then the Divine Mother of God looked up. Her sight alone swept forth a gentle wind which cleared the fog overhead. And there the North Star shone its great light down as if all of creation listened to her presence. Your heart already knows that love through devotion is your calling, while your mind is covered by overwhelming confusion and fear. Now how does one answer such a great and noble calling? Come here, my child. Have you forgotten that you are a soul of my infinite universe? Your soul has been led into this world, but this world is not where your soul is from. You are correct that someday you will die to this body, but let me ask, where was your soul before your body was born? Asked the Divine Mother. Before I was born? I wondered. Well, I thought back, but I couldn't remember. Do you recall a cosmic water fountain? You came here from the stars, but you inhabit a body upon this earth. Find joy in being human, but embrace humility from your human birth. You were born to be real, not a fake person perfected. I will lead you to live out your calling and duty, and so you can trust me. Commit to your most sacred duty, because in God's eyes, you will always be respected. Become what you are, and what you are within is impossible to escape. You are always being formed, never fully shaped. I see the beauty behind your eyes, a secret of the soul. It is time to realize your potential, but you must surrender your individual control. Step free from the crowd. Your intuition is real. This is not the time to think, yet it is a time to feel. Soon you'll realize that the truth was never far. It takes all of your courage to remember who you are. Look at the universe as it teaches us all the lessons, both through pleasure and pain, like how a storm can destroy us, yet sustain us with the rain. We're connected to this world in more ways than we'll ever know. Have faith in my universe and trust what it's willing to show. Offer all of your worries to me, and from this day forward, commit to the path of devotion. I will lead you to God's glory, so go into your heart and live with loving service, said the Divine Mother. With my body still in her arms, I rose to my knees and bowed to her, and when I looked up again, there in her arms, the two roses had transformed into a great and mighty sword. She lowered the blade upon my shoulder, then raised it overhead to the other, and so the Divine Mother spoke. Learn from the ways of the natural world. Today I call you to fight. Take up the sword. You are the Divine Mother's knight, she said. O Divine Mother, reveal the way forward, and I will follow you. Show me the path, and I will honor whatever you instruct me to do. Do not worry about what happens in the external world. It is all an inward reflection. The true battle requires you to cleanse your own life as you commit your spirit to the path of love through selfless devotion. I gave you this body so that you may live as a human being, but do not forget who you truly are. You are a spiritual being in a human world. All the pressure you feel is not a curse, but it is a guiding force leading you to discover your soul's deepest calling. Today you will rise as a warrior of the Mother. You are a guardian of God's kingdom. For so long, you've been trying to manipulate a world that does not go your way. But nature knows how the material world is bound to fall apart as all of life will decay. Now comes the time to devote yourself to the Holy Spirit, for this is the pure essence of the soul that will always remain. Know that this world is not a world of suffering. Rather, this planet is my divine child who transforms pain through a joyful offering. My earth takes in all the tears and agony, and in time, this is the way that pain is changed. The purity of who we are within our hearts will always remain, said the Divine Mother. O Mother, I honor you, and I will go forth on the path of devotion. But still, I find myself in an impossible dilemma. How do I live with an open heart and accept all beings, while also fulfilling the calling as the Mother's warrior? Open your heart to the world. Never be afraid to love again. Bypassing would say, detach and kill the enemy. Only justice matters. Even nihilism would claim that love always ends in pain. But upon the path of devotion, I tell you to love fully, risk consciously, and root yourself deeper than any outcome. When you are filled with God's love, you will meet death without despair, and that is how we defend God's holy kingdom. Unlike the so-called earth monsters, you don't need a flashy public stage to prove your power. Your power radiates through quiet alignment, relational devotion, and strategic presence, just like my wildflowers. Your selfless visibility flows when it serves. And so I say, give yourself away to all others. Let your life become a living embodiment of courage, devotion, and selfless service. This is your initiation into love. The scriptures teach us to strip away the illusions of control. Allow God to act through you, as your life will become aligned to God's ultimate purpose. That is what it means when we live in a state of devotional service, said the Mother.